I keep extra plants in gallon jars next to the window with potting soil. I've been treating these jars with hydrogen peroxide every few days for a couple weeks. 10 drops per gallon every other day. And now I'd like to consolidate the plants into 2 jars and remove enough plants to add to my 29 gallon where I already have some water wisteria. And I'll use the potting soil from 1 jar to add to the substrate in the 29. Hopefully that'll provide plenty of fertilizer for the plants in that tank. Some aquarists like to use planting tongs, but I usually just use my hands. Seems to be easier than using the tongs. There's already some potting soil in the substrate. Hopefully I won't stir that up too much. There's a clump of potting soil. The more heavily planted the tank is, I believe the shrimp at least are going to enjoy it more. Probably the otocinclus too. More surface area for algae and microbes, the better. And a heavily planted tank looks much nicer in my opinion. One more. Well, 2 more. Last one. Now for the interesting part, adding more potting soil. The soil should fall between the cracks and settle in the gravel around the plants. It's going to make the water quite cloudy for a few days. It should look nice after it's filtered for a while. And there goes the filter. 2 filters, in fact. "24 hours later, the water is quite clear. Now, usually I only leave blanched vegetables like cucumber and zucchini in the tank for 1 day, but This cucumber, a couple of slices there, has been in for 24 hours, and it doesn't appear that the otocinclus have really put much of a dent in it. Occasionally I leave blanched vegetables in for a couple of days. I don't believe that it soils the water too much. But all 5 cherry shrimp and all 3 otocinclus are doing fine in this tank. I did put sponges on the intakes of the hang on the back filters just in case these shrimp are still going to breed. I tend to think that they've passed their prime and aren't going to breed anymore, but just in case, I wouldn't want any shrimplets to get sucked up. Here you can see a little male, and there's a couple of female shrimp on that other piece, and a female on that water wisteria. I can see the other male on some potting soil in the center of the plants, but probably won't be able to get it on camera. Or in the corner, or on the side of the tank, there's a couple of the otocinclus. You may think that this tank is understocked, but as long as the inhabitants are happy and healthy, I think it's a pretty good setup.